Purges in the Chinese army, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, a longtime personal friend of incumbent President Xi Jinping, has been dismissed. Officially, corruption charges have been cited, but in the background there is a struggle for another presidential term and plans to accelerate a possible attack on Taiwan, combating airborne assaults, countering sudden enemy incursions, and testing rapid response procedures. The Taiwanese army is training for a Chinese attack. The threats we face from the enemy today are clearly more serious than they were 10 years ago. We must accelerate the development and preparation of our armed forces. Otherwise, it will be difficult to ensure national security. That is why the authorities in Taipei are closely following the latest reports of purges in the Chinese army. President Xi Jinping's latest political victim is General Zhang Yuxia, the most important general in the Chinese army and a longtime personal friend of the incumbent president. The military officer is suspected of corruption and abuse of power. There have even been accusations of passing information about China's nuclear program to the Americans. But according to experts, this is just a pretext, and the real goal is to prepare the ground for next year's Communist Party Congress, at which new state authorities will be elected, and President Xi has his sights set on another fourth term.
Bear in mind as well that there have been millions of party officials disciplined or arrested or removed since Xi Jinping came to power. In 2025 alone, there were 1 million such cases, and there were 900,000 such cases in 2024. Even a defense minister was removed in 2023. So purges are a very normal part of Chinese Communist Party politics, unfortunately.
But this time in the background, there is not only a struggle for the Chinese communist throne, but also the possibility of an attack on Taiwan, which is a thorn in the side of the authorities in Beijing. The dismissed general was said to have questioned President Xi's plans to achieve operational capability to land on the island by 2027. Paradoxically, the recent dismissals weaken the Chinese army, but only in the short term.
If this is indeed a political power grab by Xi Jinping, and if it means there are fewer constraints on Xi Jinping, in the medium term, I think this increases the likelihood of the use of force against Taiwan.
China is systematically increasing its spending on expanding its military. Official data show that they spend more than $300 billion annually on this purpose, less than the United States, but significantly more than the rest of the world. In the new training year, we will focus on heavy and intensive training, closely linked to operational tasks. We will increase the use of technological means and develop higher skills to be second faster and one move ahead of our opponents. Although the U.S. military is more powerful and experienced, this will certainly not be enough in a confrontation. However, analysts fear the coordination of Beijing and Moscow. A possible attack on Taiwan could divert attention from Russia's neo-imperial policy in Europe. The United States has already recognized China as its main strategic rival and regularly calls on its European allies to strengthen their own armed forces.